All right, today we've got Leonard Davis, who has graciously agreed to take some time off from the state fair and prepare for us and give a garage band presentation. So we appreciate that. Leonard, go ahead.
All right. Good morning, folks. I need to issue a few disclaimers first and do a little bit of a setup. I was fascinated by the garage band program early on, and I tried it a couple of times, and I soon discovered that this is a really sophisticated program, and the learning curve is way above the amount of work I wanted to put in to be able to use it when I really didn't need it for anything. I was just curious. So I gave up on it about 3 times. And a couple of years ago, a former pastor and I were visiting, and he was telling me about his dream to start podcasting. And he was in his late 70s already and retired. And he and I had a close personal relationship for about 5 years previous to that. And he knew I was a gadget guy and a would-be geek. And he said, is there anything you can do to help me out with that? So I said, reluctantly said, yeah, I'll see what I can do. His son is a Mac professional and does internet marketing, has a lot of skills, but he didn't have time to do what Jim needed doing. So I got together with his son, and his son set everything up so that Pastor Jim could sit in his office at home, open up GarageBand, record his podcast, and put it in Dropbox. So fortunately for me, his son took care of that end of it. His son also set up an account with Apple Podcasts and host server. There's an intermediate step there. And I'm not going to deal with any of that today because, it's pretty unlikely that any of you are going to start podcasting in the next few days. And besides, I don't know how to do that. And I made a deal with Jimmy. You do what you can do, and I'll do what I can do, and we'll make this thing work. So to make a short story long, Jim's daughter and son-in-law are the music ministers at the church that he's now retired from. They put together a musical introduction and musical exit segment. And I started studying, watching YouTube videos and learning about GarageBand. And I had this picture of what I thought it ought to be. And after many conversations and discussions, we settled, he pretty much agreed with me on the format because he was trusting me and didn't know any better. So there we go. So what happens now is he sits in his office and records on GarageBand, puts it in Dropbox. I take it out of the Dropbox, listen to it all the way through, and do whatever editing is necessary. And he's really become quite good. He can do a 50 to 60 minute podcast nonstop, and I don't have to edit anything out. It's really pretty amazing. And he greatly underestimates his abilities, as many of us do. And I've used GarageBand to put in the musical introduction and the musical exit, and then convert it to MP3s and upload it to the host server for the Apple Podcasts, and we're in business. So and the main reason I wanted to show this is because Apple is such an incredible producer of software, and it's always at the right price. It comes automatically with the Mac OS. It also comes with iOS on both of the mobile platforms. I prefer not to work on the mobile platforms because I'm old and slow and my fingers are big and clumsy. But it's really been fun. It's been an educational process, and it reminded me about what a tremendous tool we have at our disposal and how we underuse it. And kind of parenthetically, I'll just include, I won't show you any of this, but I discovered several years ago when I took some PowerPoint training when I was living in the other world. And I used PowerPoint very, very widely, extensively for composition, image composition. I just pull up a PowerPoint blank thing and I put in images and text boxes and rearrange it, take a screenshot of it, and then convert it into whatever I need to. And it's really cool. I don't know if you saw the promotional piece on ACD.us or on the Facebook page. But I created all of that in a few minutes in a PowerPoint slide. So if you don't have a good image or composition program, I recommend you try that. All right, enough of that. I've pulled all these files together for the sake of saving time. And I'm going to share the screen if I can find the button. And I have to warn you, I keep a messy desktop. So you just have to look past that. And if you look down here in my own favorite little homemade launcher, these are the files I'm going to be showing you today. Here is the Facebook file, not the Facebook, I beg your pardon, the GarageBand file with the content that the pastors recorded. So I opened that up in GarageBand, and this is typically what I see. Right now he's recording, probably at this minute, he's doing his recording now every Saturday morning. And I have from Saturday morning till Monday sometime to do the editing and get it started. Come on, what's it? Slow coming up this morning. Maybe if I plug the power in, that'll help. Let's try again. I'm going to go through this kind of quickly. I don't mind being interrupted by questions, but I'm going to try to stay on track and entertain all the questions you might have at the end. Again, I'm not doing this so you'll be able to do it this afternoon. I'm just want to give you some, spark your imaginations.
Is it time for an M1 Mac?
No, I'm not quite the bleeding edge guy that you are, Richard. This is the last 16-inch Intel MacBook Pro.
I wonder if you might have to.
I'm not ready for being a beta tester and bleeding edge guy.
I wonder if you might have to stop screen sharing and then relaunch GarageBand. Share it.
Thanks for the tip, Tim. I'll give that a shot. Let me go in this way. We'll drill down for it. Open. This worked perfectly last night.
Yep, I've been there.
And I can verify that it did, because I was this guinea pig.
There's some kind of unwritten rule about this.
Yeah.
I think they call it a critical detector. The more that, the more critical the need, the less likely it is to function.
Yeah.
Okay.
It senses your anxiety.
Or Murphy's Law.
Right.
Nothing worse than it happening during a demo to customers, boy.
All right. Fortunately, I'm not trying to
I've
sell
been
anything.
there.
Anybody else have ideas? I'm open.
Okay, what about Option Command Escape and see if GarageBand is actually running, but
Option.
Command Option Escape, bring up the task, force quit, see if it's just not responding.
Gotcha. Yeah, GarageBand is open.
Okay, then.
And I see it in the menu bar.
Is it minimized in your dock?
Oh.
If it's already up, we haven't force quit it.
You're my man, Tim. You're my man.
Right, Tim.
Woo, that's why we keep you around.
I hate minimize. Don't know why we have it.
And I don't know why it's down there. I didn't put it there, I promise. Okay, let's get you back in the picture. Okay, are we seeing now?
Yeah.
Y'all see on my desktop?
Okay,
I'm gonna move it around here. As I tell my people at school, do as I say, not as I do. I set a terrible example when I give advice. Okay, here's the audio file that Jim saved in the Dropbox and I pulled out. Here is options on how to view and how to work on the file. Since you're dealing totally with audio and totally with pre-recorded stuff, what I want to see here is a time. So if I hit
John the Apostle,
go,
in about 95 AD, writes,
you hear the beginning of the text of his content. And down here, the first thing I do is listen to it all the way through, and just the audio and the controls down here at the bottom is necessary. And I'm just going to show you a couple examples. I'm not going to try to make it perfect. So
John the Apostle,
the compression, listen to the difference.
Writes a very long letter.
That's fairly shallow compared to this.
Letters to 7 churches in Asia Minor.
Can you tell the difference?
Yeah.
In my experience, 50 years of my life, I didn't read this book much because it's really hard.
I'm not exactly sure what compression is or what it does, but I know what sounds better and what sounds worse. So that's how sophisticated I am. Generally speaking, I run the compression all the way up. These toggle switches turn all the controls in this box completely on and off. And this toggle switch does the same thing for the squeeze function. Again, I don't know what that means, but I can show you. And ambience and reverb. Here's a good example of what that is.
However, I've come to realize that it may be the most important New Testament document for lots of reasons. So, first of all, to understand why that might be, I need to understand that John the Apostle was not John the Apostle.
Obviously, we do not want that reverb in a podcast. And these remember them. These settings are remembered from session to session, and they're just EQ things. There is a more sophisticated EQ, but I'm not smart enough to use it, and this serves my purpose well. And these are the default settings. Unfortunately, they come up, and most of the time they're the best settings. There are volume controls here, and the master track is down here right now. Of course, that's the only thing on it. And if I want to make changes in the master, I have to get another track there. So what do we need first? We need a musical introduction. So here's my intro in a pre-recorded and clipped MP3. I'm going to just drag it up here. And we don't want the musical introduction after the content. So we click on here and push it up. And notice it's quite small. So what I actually like to pull the exit in at this point because it's easier than going back to it. So I'm going to go down here, and here's my instrumental exit. I pull that up,
Unknown caller.
drop it there. So I have introduction, narration, and exit, and they happen to all fall in the correct place, which is cool. Up here is a scaler. Notice you see all the 40 something minutes. I think it's going to be eventually. You see all of that right here in here. But if I expand it, then it breaks it down to smaller and smaller time increments. Now I'm going to be moving this approximately down here so that the music fades out and the narration begins as the music goes down in volume. And I'll adjust that in the proper sequence of time. Now, if I reduce the scaling, I cannot grab these little tiny files without accidentally deleting or corrupting them. So the trick is to expand it enough to grab it, but it goes out of sight. Fortunately, I have a slider down here. And I can, okay, I don't need it to be that large. I need it about that size. Now what I'm going to do is grab it here and slide it to the right. And it takes a while to get it down because it's expanded so much. So I just hold it until I get tired and pull it back. Because if I let it go without, excuse me, this full musical file being on the screen, then it goes back to where it started. So what I'm going to do is reduce it a little bit, and I can grab it and move it. Whoa, come back here. I went too far. Sorry, guys. Now, where is it?
You want an egg? You want an egg, Chloe?
There it is.
Bella, you want an egg? Want an egg?
I
I
know
want
that the,
a water.
yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't mute. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's approximately where I want it. All right. I'm going to go back here and start it up. I won't make you listen to it all, but you'll get an idea of what it's like. Oh, if I want to adjust the volume and the fade in and fade out on this, then I have to highlight this track. I can make all the adjustments here I want to, but if this track isn't highlighted and one of the others is, then the adjustments I make here will have no effect. I learned all this the hard way, guys. Okay, here we go.
Hey, welcome to the Politics of Jesus podcast with Jim Reynolds. Jim is a woman until he comes.
I'm the apostle. In about 95 AD, writes.
Okay. You see how this one happens to be very, very well edited and cut so that I don't have to adjust the volume here. It just fades out naturally, and he comes in right before the music completely quits. Listen again.
I'm the apostle. In about 95 AD, writes a very long letter. It's actually.
This is the beginning of a series. I think there's 6 podcasts on the book of Revelation. Now, here's the little tricky part. And when if you should do something similar to this, you just have to learn the hard way about what order things must be done in to save the grief. So if I slide it down here, pick it up here. Hello, oh, there it is. Now we'll see how well I did in estimating where I want the music to come in.
Come, Lord Jesus.
Did you notice the pause, the silence there? And I really want that to, the voice to come in as the music's going down. And that's where I use this. Bring the volume all the way down, double click on the line, and a movable handle appears. I'll make another one over here, and I can bring the music up slowly, let it run at whatever the top speed I want it to sound. Come on. Sometimes I hit the line the first time, and sometimes I don't. And bring this down here because I want it to fade out. Now let's see how it sounds.
Will be world without end. Come, Lord Jesus.
So I'm going to move it back here a little bit. And voila, we have a finished podcast, but it's still in GarageBand form. So, and we have the volume and the tone all set, and I have the entrance and the exit set the way I want it. So I'm going to go up here and save as. And notice the title, I have JR Original. That tells me that the file I started with is his actual audio narration. Now I want to save it in a different format so I don't lose this in case I've messed something up and need to start over again. So I'm going to change this to, I know it really sounds funny to you, but I started this out of desperation and I had to stick to it. This is my revision of his content, which includes the intro and the exit. And this is the folder, the demo folder that I took my other files out of, so that's where I want to save it. Why is it? Did I click the wrong thing? Oh, there it is. It's there. And notice up here, this is the new file. It has the intro and the exit. Now at this point, I have a great GarageBand file with my podcast, except that in order to upload it to Apple Podcast host site, I need to have it in MP3. Now this can take quite a while, so I'm going to show you how to do it, but then I'll show you what it looks like so you don't have to wait on it. If I go up here to share, that's what I want to do. And I want to export this GarageBand file to a disk, which is on my computer. So I click on there, and this is the folder I want it in. I want it in MP3. I want the highest quality I can afford, and I want to export it. And this is the part that can take up to 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how long the file is. So I'm going, if I can, I'm going to stop that. I'm not in the habit of doing that, so I'm not sure how to. So instead, I'm going to let it go. Let's see if it'll go down. It won't even go down. All right. What I get is this MP3 right here. I'm going to open it in QuickTime. I wish I could make that go away so it wouldn't be so distracting. But here I have, oops, that's not the right one.
Command H, maybe.
Oh, I have it saved right here. Let me find the right one. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Now this is what I did and what I do every week. Upload to the Apple Podcast. There you go. Site. And here's the way it sounds. Yeah. All right. I'll do it manually.
Hey, welcome to the Politics of Jesus podcast with Jim Reynolds. Jim is a pastor and a lawyer in Texas, and in this podcast, he asks, what are
years of my life?
I want to hear how the transition sounds.
Join us as we pledge a new allegiance to Jesus, live as his new family, practice justice everywhere, and embody the peace of the Lord until he comes.
I'm the apostle. About 95 AD.
And I can test it.
They're usually written during the
with spot
pale
checks.
And green or about death. Unveiling. We've lived through the rebellion of God and his victory through Christ. Really, chapter 5 is an ascension coronation, world without end. Come, Lord Jesus.
Okay. So now I have a file that's ready to upload, and we've successfully created the next episode of the podcast. And that, my friends, is what I wanted to show you.
Leonard, I had a
Again,
question
not so
on
you can go out and start a podcast. Yes, sir.
on the look and feel.
Okay.
Did you choose that look and
Okay.
feel? And can you, are there alternatives? You've got the wood sides on the
Okay.
box, and the twirly knobs and things in the bottom.
You mean the controls inside GarageBand?
Yes.
I'm not sure what you're asking, Richard. Yeah.
Maybe there's
Most of that
preferences setting
comes
somewhere.
up by default in GarageBand. Yes, there are preferences, and you can change all that. But I was comfortable with the default, and once I learned something, I'm hesitant to try to switch. If it's broke, don't fix it. That's my motto.
Yes.
Again, my purpose today is to encourage you to experiment. Do some things with the software you already have. It's incredibly powerful, and you've already paid for it. So why should you pay for something else and have a new learning curve?
Well, I really appreciate
Anybody else?
appreciate the words. I recently was trying to introduce a new person to the Mac, from Windows to Mac. And she was a musical person. So I had to show her GarageBand, except I didn't really know enough to show it. So I went off and found a video, but then she got so involved in it that I searched online, found a couple of books, purchased them, and I really, just like you said, I really kind of want to dive in and do something useful with GarageBand. So you have pushed me along. Thank you.
Well, good. You've inspired me many times over the last 3 decades, and I appreciate it, Ray. Your legacy will live much longer than you, and I hope that's a long time. We're not ready to write you off yet, I promise.
Speaking of legacies, has anyone read this book yet? I hope you can read it.
Your video's
Yes.
not on yet.
It's been a long time, but they said that book is much, much better than the one that the last book that Isaac, because it really talked about the transition between what he was before and what he became.
Yeah, they're kind of, a lot of people are calling it the resurrection of Steve Jobs. And they don't like the book, the big book that came out that we all bought and read. And they don't like the movies about him. So they set out to present a more, a view of his life where he did change. He did become more adaptable to people, and, I read briefly from the introduction here. When entrepreneurs come to our venture capital, this is by Mark Anderson, a big venture capitalist. When entrepreneurs come to our venture capital firm to pitch themselves and their companies, they walk up the stairs and into a conference room named Steve Jobs. If you polled the thousands of founders that come through the room during the course of a year, you'd find that 99.9% of them never met Steve. You'd also find out that a fairly large number of them entered the tech industry after Steve passed away. But overwhelmingly, if you ask them who their hero is, what they have tried to learn the most from how to build a company and how to have an impact on the world, Steve is number one on that list by a very wide margin. So his legacy continues. That's the theme of the book. And
it's, what is it, a couple of days ago was his 10th anniversary of his death. So that's
yeah. I took it upon myself to get the video of his speech at Stanford, which is really terrific, I think. And I sent it to all the young people in my life and suggested they listen to it. It's short, and I ended my comments with, by the way, there is a lesson in Steve's speech, even for 91-year-old me. Watch the last lesson. And of course, the last lesson is about death. And Steve says, death is one of the most marvelous inventions of life because it clears out the old and makes room for the new. So that was a tidbit for even me to remember, or any of us to remember, that there is an end to life, and you know, it sort of focuses the mind when you make that self clear to yourself. Anyway, I thought it was appropriate, and 10 years later, I still have, my life has been blessed by Steve Jobs, even as just being a customer.
Hey, Leonard, I have a question on GarageBand.
Okay.
There's MIDI type files out on the internet with music already recorded in the MIDI format. Will GarageBand let me download those into it and play it through my electronic piano? Or do you know?
Okay, I'm having internet issues, and let me repeat and make sure I understood your question, sir. Can you take any audio clip from any source and put it into GarageBand?
No, I said MIDI, MIDI, MIDI files. That's what basically GarageBand is using.
MIDI file, you know, that does make a lot of sense to me. I can't give you a definite answer because I haven't tried it, and I didn't research that because that was not something I needed to know. I knew that the musical introduction and exit were MP3s, and I know you can easily drag MP3s in there, and it loves that. It just accepts it automatically. But since it is a music composing and arranging tool primarily, I mean, first ahead of everything else, I know you can plug instruments into it. You can play an electronic keyboard or a guitar or an electronic drum set. You can feed that directly into GarageBand and record all those things and lay track, on top of track, and then you can produce a finished product with it. So the more I think about it and the more I listen to you, the more I think I understand your question. Yes, it does accept MIDI files, not only pre-recorded MIDI files, but live ones.
I have done stuff like this where I think I made multi-track MIDI files, and I think I exported MIDI file, not an audio file, from GarageBand. Okay. It's been a while. And so that would play through your instrument if you're going out into the instrument. MIDI files.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's the best I can do.
Thank you.
I would love to tell you more about that, but I'm not a musician and I don't play one on TV.
Okay, let me see if I can share my screen now. I always forget how to do. I looked up something real quick. I'll just read it. It's real short. This is oh, gummit. Why won't that scroll? Anyway, this is the file types that GarageBand supports. It says recording. It supports 16-bit at 44.1 kilohertz. Importing, you can import AIFF and WAV files as long as they're 16-bit. You can import all MP3 files. It will be converted and stored in your project as an AIFF file.
I also found something on the Support Apple webpage that said all you have to do is just drag a MIDI file either to the software instrument or to an empty space below the master track. So it should be pretty easy to do it.
Yeah, that's good information.
Leonard.
Yes.
A little off the track, but that wallpaper behind you saying just a matter of time, that's been bothering me. Just a matter of time, what?
Till Apple takes over the whole earth.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Is that better? You see better, Neil?
Yeah, that's neat.
That's
good.
I prefer not to show off how messy my office is.
While we're on the subject of unrelated topics, Lawrence, what does your shirt say?
The last 8 digits of my password is pi.
Oh.
Okay. I picked up my background because about a month ago, we attended an online baby shower with a great granddaughter in Turkey. And she invited people from all over the world to come. And she suggested that we all have a background that related to where we were. And it really was interesting. I just had a map, but some people had some amazing pictures from South America and Africa and Asia. She has friends all over the world.
I have another topic that's off topic or off subject, I guess. If I may plug another user group, if that's okay with you, Taylor, or members of the board, and I could.
Sure, sure.
Okay, I'll share my screen if I can show it to you. This is the Naples Mac user group. They've been around for a long time. They have hundreds of members, and I joined them basically because they offer weekly Zoom meetings that are very well put together. And the one that's just happens to be coming up next Wednesday on October the 13th is about affinity photo. It's a 2-session. In other words, this Wednesday and next Wednesday, this photographer will discuss a 2-part presentation on why he thinks affinity photo will come to replace Photoshop for the most part. But I just wanted to say that right now they're offering a membership deal. Their membership dues are $24 a year. And if you join now, you get 2 months for free. So they've got these meetings that are coming up for the rest of this year. Well, this was last week's Apple Pencil, which was very good. And then we've got the affinity photo on the 13th, and in October, actually this is October's meetings, my apologies. But anyhow, their weekly Zoom meetings, they're around the lunch hour time. If they run from 11:30 to 12:45. I think that's Eastern, that's Florida time. So it's going to be 10:30 Central time to 11:45 our time. But they're very well put together meetings. And if you all are interested in joining it and supporting another user group, Naples Mac User Group would be something that I could certainly recommend. They actually have classes that are coming up in January that they'll be offering starting on January the 8th, 2022. It's a real educational user group, and if y'all need something else to do during the week that's computer related or Mac related, I can strongly recommend that the Naples Mac User Group.
Is this Naples, Italy?
No, Naples, Florida.
Naples, Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That really looked good.
NMUG is the
Mm-hmm.
the
I
acronym.
watched a Netflix series movie on Google Earth development 10 years before Google came out with it. And it is on Netflix. It is called $1 Billion Code. And it's pretty interesting when they people in Britain developed it 10 years before Google did. It goes through the whole history of it, plus the lawsuits.
We need somebody to give us a program on iOS 15. I haven't dived in yet. There's a whole lot about it that sounds interesting, but I just haven't figured it out yet.
It's, especially for it, you can see some differences for the iPad, because they did add a library for your apps. So that's visually. But I had to go to YouTube and go through some of those to find out the little hidden gems that they changed, because it's not just, doesn't pop out at you, for one of the things that, and if you never use it, one of the things, there's a slide that pops up. If you go to the corner of your iPad and slide it up, you get a notes that you can type in and then put it away, and then if something else you need to do, bring it back up and continue that. But unless you know that, you don't see it. So a lot of the things, they've done quite a few things, but it's just, and I don't know if this is typical. So far, it's kind of been typical of Apple. And it used to be, if you buy an Apple book, you would learn a lot of things, but nowadays people don't have the books like they used to. I don't know if because young folks don't read anymore. I don't know. Everybody uses YouTube. I don't know, but that seems like a fact of life nowadays.
Yeah,
go ahead, Ray.
I was going to say the one place you can still get good Apple books is, oh shoot, somebody help me. The old place we've had him down to our meetings. It's his board.
Is that the fella from Houston?
No. He's probably the oldest Mac publisher and developer. I don't know why I said anything, because I can't ever remember names anymore, but
just like me.
Don't think of it. There's a whole series of books called how to shoot. Let me go off and look. I'll be back.
Let me see if I have that book.
I was forced to upgrade to iOS 15 a couple of days ago. I wanted to watch some of the baseball games on my Apple TV upstairs, and when I tried to get the TBS app on my Apple TV, it said you have to have iOS 15 to do this. So I mean, they're getting quicker and quicker at making you,
Yes.
forcing you to upgrade to get things that you want.
Is 15 out?
Yes.
Yes.
One of the coolest features that I like is you can take a photograph and select the text.
Oh
And
yeah, that's nice too.
yeah, you can translate it, you can speak it, you can copy and paste it right from a photograph, and that makes it just that'd make a really quick demo. Or in fact, I could probably demonstrate it for you right now. But it's just a really super feature. Take a picture of a menu or a sign or something like that, and just select the text, copy paste it right from a photograph.
And that's another one of those things. If you don't have a friend called Tim Baker, you don't know about it because it doesn't jump out at you.
Of course, we got that about a month ago with Text Sniper. And evidently, after upgrading to 15, my Text Snipper doesn't work anymore.
Uh-oh.
That was a
Does anybody,
developer in Latvia that came up with that, and I guess Apple put him out of business.
does anyone know if that functionality is scheduled for Mac OS?
I
It's
think
in
I've got it on
Monterey. It's in Monterey.
okay, good.
Thanks.
I also wanted to make I haven't put it together, but I've got two new projects. One, my wife won't let me open until Christmas, but I got a Synology hard drive, and I called their tech support, and they had the best tech support. He gave me all good information, pointed me to all the documentation, like Tim said, it should have been in the book and everything, right? And Tim and Taylor are the ones who pointed me in that direction. And that's a NAS system, but their tech support was really great. On the other hand, I bought a product called ACDC, and it is a digital management type thing, sort of like Lightroom. As a matter of fact, it's on sale for $39, and it is unbelievable. Now, I work with the salesperson, and I almost gave up on the company because he was not as, I don't know what the word, amenitive as he should have. He didn't know a lot, but I got in touch with their tech support, and their tech support is decent. The product was built on Windows, and now it's coming over to the Mac. Again, it's $39, and it does a lot of things, and even better, I think, on some things, and worse on others than Lightroom. But they're coming out with a new version, which is M1 compatible, starting next in November. And it does not pull your videos or photos into a database. Wherever they are, it catalogs it right there. So if you change your mind or decide to not use the product, you don't have to unload or export or anything like that. It works great. So anyway, kudos for Synology. Again, he gave me all the information I ever wanted and encouraged me to call back if I had any problems.
Spell the name of that product.
It's SYNOLOGY.
Okay.
Synology.
And ACDC is actually capital A, capital C, capital D, and then the word CSEE.
Well, I just resurrected Text Snipper. it wouldn't work from my dock, but I see it's up in the menu. And I did a tiny screenshot of my own picture with the map behind it, and Text Snipper grabbed that text perfectly. I don't know how to invoke the new Apple. What do I do to?
Well, let me show you a quick demo if you don't mind.
Yeah.
See a quick demo.
Okay.
See if I can screen share this with you guys.
Good idea. Thank you.
Oh, maybe it's not. There we go. Can y'all see that image?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you cannot see, unfortunately, the little symbol down the lower right-hand corner. There's a little target symbol on my screen on my phone right now. And as soon as I press that, it highlights the text, which unfortunately it's not showing in reflector here. This is not going to work here. I guess I'm just going to have to hold my phone up to the camera. Let's see if I can make it do it. Yeah, you're not going to, shucks. I'm going to try it a different way. I apologize. This is not working. Let me see if I can just plug my phone in and do it a different way.
Well, let's see. This is not working on Mac OS yet, anyway, is it?
No, I've got it on my phone here. I can plug it in. I could plug it in directly. Say, for instance, let me see. Deselect this and show you. If I could cable the phone possibly to the. Dadgummit. Let me quit this reflector here. This is not working. Quit. Stop. Okay. So you just bring up a photograph. Oh, there you go. And there's you see that little button down the corner. So if I press that button, it will select, oh, come on. There you go.
Oh, look.
There you go. It selects come on.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. So it selects the text.
Okay.
There's the button. And then you tap on the text. It's kind of hard for me to do this, but not this way I'm doing it. Tap on the text and it brings up the selection tool.
Yeah.
And you got select all, say for instance. And then you can do, I know there's a better way of doing this. I apologize. It's hard for me to hold it up to the camera and try to poke my finger in the right place.
Yeah. You're not quite there.
Yeah. Select all.
There you go.
Yeah. And then you can copy it, paste it.
Yeah. Just like.
Speak it.
Oh.
Share it. I can share it. I pressed share by accident. Sorry. Let's see if I can press.
Speak.
Gosh. Anyway, you kind of get the basic idea. You can select the text. I just can't position my finger in exactly the right place. Can't look at the screen. And
where do you find the I don't know what to call it. Where do you find whatever it is to label?
Okay, if you have iOS 15 on your device.
I don't have it yet.
Okay, see that's the thing. You have to actually have iOS 15 either on your iPad or your iPhone before that little tool will show up.
But what is it? Has a name? The tool?
It's a text selection. I'm not exactly sure what the correct name is, but it's
Now, where do you go get the tool? I brought up the.
All you do is.
I brought the video up.
Let me see if I can cable my phone to my computer because that reflector is not working. Let me see if I can do it this way. If I can share the screen this way better. Oh, shucks.
Function is named live text.
I think they just call it live text.
Live text.
And where do you go get it? I'm in the picture. I'm in the edit now, and I've got the the hearts and the info and the garbage can, and then up at the top I got edit. Do I hit edit?
No,
Do I hit something that says live text or something? I don't see it.
Not getting the son of a gun. Well, this is one of those things where nothing works when you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, try again. So for the most part, you just like I'm opening up. Oh, good. This is terrible. I hate to do it this way. So I go to photos.
Good. Go to photos.
Okay, go to photos, and I select a photo that's got text in it. Like
got it.
Right there. And then there's a little symbol down right there. See that little symbol?
Yep.
Okay, so you tap on that symbol, and then it will recognize the text. Of course, you can't see that it's highlighted. And if I tap on the text, come on, there you go. And then I can just edit it like normal. Oh, this is terrible. Sorry.
That's all right.
So it's just in photos, or can you go to a website and select something in the website that you want?
I have not tried it in I can try it on a website, but just for selecting text, obviously I think that feature's pretty much always been there where you can select text on a website because it's text.
Well, you should be able to take a screenshot and do it. I'm on Mac OS. I'm using Text Sniper, and I just took a screenshot of all of us talking, and here's what it pulled in.
Oh.
Shirley Dunbar, Ray Thompson, Tim Baker, Lawrence Jenkins. Look, it even got the corny dog background of Leonard's. Well, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty big. And that's on Mac OS already with Text Sniper.
Yeah.
Text Sniper?
Text Sniper.
I guess it's
Snipper or Snipper?
Text Snipper?
Yeah.
Oh, Snipper.
Let me get my, how do I?
Yeah, I can't get it to work, but you know what? My photos are live photos. Maybe that's why it doesn't work on live photos.
Take it up, yeah.
I'm taking a picture of it now. I took live photos off. Let me see. No, I don't get it. I took a picture of the screen, and I can say select all, and it will select all the text. And then I'll say copy, but I don't, it copied the text. It just didn't. Now
you have to paste
it. Copied it, just didn't give me that thing at the bottom. But it did copy the text.
Yeah. Okay. So has anybody gotten the new iPhone 13?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Who's the
Lawrence.
Lawrence?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get the plain 13 or the Pro or Pro Max?
I got the Pro Max.
Okay. And where were you able to find it?
I went to T-Mobile and they delivered me on the Friday that it was released at my house.
Oh.
They shipped it to me.
Yeah. I haven't been able to get it anyplace, but the problem is I have an Apple store gift card that I want to use. So I have to get it at Apple if I want to use my gift card.
You can also order it and use your gift card too from online, from Apple's online.
Yeah. Okay.
But even if you go to the Apple store, they will let you order it and then when it comes in to the store, if they, according to what the disease is, sometimes they let you go to the store, sometimes they don't. But I think they're letting you go to the store now. You order it from the store, and then you keep your phone. When your phone comes in, they call you. You use your gift card to pay for it. Also, if your phone is worth anything, they'll also give you a value on your phone, so you can get all that, and then they'll help you wipe your phone.
So when you go into, Lawrence, when you go into the Apple store, you don't need an appointment. You can just go in anytime.
I don't know. It changes week to week based on how bad like I said, how bad the CDC said. I went into the store to get something. I forgot what it was, and they let me in the store, but I still had to make an appointment.
Oh,
but you just gotta call them, because like I say, it changes week to week based on how bad COVID is.
Oh, okay.
This week they may let you in, and next week they may not. So just call them.
You can call the store directly?
No, you can call tech support and they can make your appointment. Yes.
Oh, okay. All righty. Thank you.
I'm
trying to get me the new phone, and I'll have 15 then. Right? Doesn't the new phone come with iOS 15?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I want to reiterate one more thing about Text Sniper. If you want it on Mac OS, when that came out a few weeks ago, Mike Firth and Gigi sent me a screen share picture of a company that Gigi works with, translating Braille, and they do not allow you to copy their screen. But Mike sent me a screen share, and it was columnar data, and TechSnipper copied it perfectly in columns. He was amazed, and he said, "Boy, we can sure use that."
Any other questions? I think that wraps up our program for this Saturday.
Well, thank you, everybody, Tim and Richard and all. I enjoyed learning some things. I got to go do a little playing around with some of it. So,
yeah, always learn something.
Thank you, Ray, and thank you, Leonard.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
You're welcome. I hope somebody was motivated by it, and I tried to keep it short on purpose.
Great job. Great job.
Great job, Leonard. Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you next month.
Okay.
Bye-bye to all.
Adios.